Before we start to look at realism, we need to understand what came before it. Before realism, there were two main art movements that were popular: neoclassicism and romanticism. Both had their own aims and styles, but they also had some things in common. They were both about escaping reality, a bit like going to the movies or binging a TV series. They did this by focusing on nature and heroic stories. Acceptable subject matter was history, like here with Delacroix leading the people in the French Revolution, painted 1830. Also acceptable was Greek mythology, seen here in The Death of Socrates, or Cabanel's Birth of Venus. Heroism or bravery can be seen in the Raft of Medusa, and love of nature can be seen here in this iconic Wonder Above the Sea of fog. Take note, there is no machine, city, or industry anywhere to be seen. It is total escapism. Also, the neoclassicists in particular were interested in smoothing out the paint to make it seem natural, a bit like seeing a movie in 3D. They wanted to trick you as much as possible into thinking it was not a painting, but an illusion that is real. This brings us to realism. Realism broke all the rules of the neoclassical and romantic art, and is considered by many to be the art movement that paved the way for all other modern art that followed. While this was happening, we also have the Impressionists in its various iterations, such as Monet, Van Gogh, who was a post-impressionist, and Seurat, a neo-impressionist or pointillism. But back to realism. Realism was defined by two main things. One, it showed reality or ordinary life. Two, it showed the reality of paint itself, breaking the fourth wall. It no longer tried to smooth out the paint to trick the viewer into thinking it is an illusion of what is real. Surprise, reality check. It's a painting, they were saying. Look at the brushstrokes. We see both of these things happening in Courbet's painting titled Bonjour, Monsieur, 1854. We see two gentleman farmers or landowners out on a walk, stopping to talk to a farm worker who travels from farm to farm doing seasonal work. The Romantics would never have wanted to show such an ordinary moment, where two farmers stop to talk to the worker, who is lower than their station in society, to find out what skills he has or to offer him a job. Further still, if we zoom in closer, we can see that Courbet has painted quite rough, not smoothing out the paint like the neoclassicists, and in fact showing us another reality, the reality that it is not an illusion, but a painting. Coincidentally, this change in painting occurred around the same time the camera was invented. The camera took the role of recording the world accurately, allowing artists to explore new ideas and techniques with paint. Another important realist artist is Manet, not to be mistaken for Monet. He painted ordinary everyday subjects, like a cafe or a bar here on the left, or a group of friends on a balcony seen on the right, or this painting, which shows friends relaxing in a park. You may notice some of the figures are looking straight at you. Before Manet, figures in paintings were shown to be looking off into the distance, somewhere beyond the picture frame, and never directly at the viewer. Manet's figures confidently stare right at you. This was another radical change in art, which not only broke the fourth wall of the painting, but also made people feel uncomfortable, like they had to face their own reality.